All right. Ron DeSantis last night had the CNN town hall nobody asked for. I can't think of a single person sitting around saying, hey, you know what we really need? We need another hour or two to hear from Ron DeSantis and just see how he can grace us with his charismatic explanations of policy. And I don't know of anyone who was asking for that, but we got it. You don't look a gift horse in the mouth or something like that. I just don't know who's putting together these gifts. We had a very interesting moment in yesterday's town hall where a so-called undeclared voter, by the way, how on earth is anyone undecided at this point? I do not understand it for the life of me. I don't know. I'm exploring my options. It's not clear. Anyway, a guy who says he's leaning towards Nikki Haley but is undeclared asked a question of Ron DeSantis. And the question essentially was, when you sent those migrants to Martha's Vineyard, wasn't that a cheap political stunt and exactly the opposite of what we need? DeSantis's explanation, may not shock you, doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
He's an undeclared voter who says he's leaning towards supporting Nikki Haley. Jeff, go ahead.
Hi. The nation has serious long-term issues to address that will require bipartisan cooperation. How do tactics such as rounding up illegal immigrants and shipping them to...
I'm so sorry to pause this. I know that a lot of people are going to weigh in about the fact that the entire time that DeSantis is listening, he's licking his lips like a beautiful brisket is about to be served. I'm not going to weigh in on that. I'm noticing it, but I'm opting not to weigh in on that in this particular segment. Okay. But I am noticing.
Partisan cooperation. How do tactics such as rounding up illegal immigrants and shipping them to Martha's Vineyard bring the nation together to discuss comprehensive immigration reform? Wasn't that little more than a cheap political stunt pandering to one side?
Well, thanks for that, Jeff. Actually, if you think about it, you go back to September of 2022, how was the border being treated? It was not a front burner issue. The problems were real, but it wasn't getting the type of scrutiny that it needed. Doing the Martha's Vineyard, and by the way, they said
we did Martha's Vineyard. Wow.
They were a sanctuary jurisdiction. They said all people are welcome, whether they're legal or not. These border towns in Texas are getting thousands and thousands. Martha's Vineyard couldn't even handle 50. And so I think that was an example of them wanting to impose a certain worldview of open borders on the rest of the country, but not willing to be able to do it. But
he's defending it. Okay, DeSantis is saying, no, it was great. We exposed hypocrisy. We did all these great things and we challenged the worldview. He's defending the stunt of flying migrants to Martha's Vineyard as something that made perfect sense. Now, the most interesting part of DeSantis's response is coming up, so pay very close attention here.
This was something that the media really globbed onto. So it ended up raising the temperature on this, and now you have this being discussed everywhere. So I don't think it was cheap at all. I think it was designed by, partially, I just believe that if you're a sanctuary jurisdiction.
That's the moment, okay? You might not even have noticed it. It was designed by, and then he changes his mind. He stops short. It is conceivable that whoever designed the stunt may have either violated various ethics or finance norms or potentially even committed crimes. So DeSantis stopping short of telling us who did design that ridiculous cheap stunt, but he's defending it. And after all this, anybody who defends that stuff is really out in the deep end for sure. Last clip that I want to mention from this town hall, DeSantis laying out the case that the Republican Party selecting Trump, who is going to have an election revolving around criminal trials, may not be the best thing for them. I have to tell you, I agree with this. This is something DeSantis is actually right here.
If Donald Trump is the nominee, the election will revolve around all these legal issues, his trials, perhaps convictions if he goes to trial and loses there, and about things like January 6th. We're going to lose if that's the decision that voters are making based on that.
Now, I think DeSantis may be wrong about one thing. I think Trump still could win, despite the fact that his entire campaign will be revolving around 4 different criminal trials and all of the other problems, maybe not even going to be allowed to do business in New York. He's right about that. I think he can still win because 60% of the Republican Party right now, based on the polling, wants him as the nominee. And there are a whole bunch of people out there gleefully waiting to vote for him for president again. So DeSantis making his final pitch out of desperation. He's polling 5 in New Hampshire. 1 week from today, DeSantis may be out. So he is giving the final effort here. When you log into your Google or Facebook account, these companies have your IP address, which is valuable to them because when you do all of your other browsing online, almost every site on the web is sending your IP address and browsing activity back to those big tech companies so they know what you do across the internet. The only solution is to hide your IP address while you're online using a VPN. I use private internet access, the only VPN that is proven multiple times in court. They do not log your activity. Private internet access is optimized for streaming and for large downloads. You can access content on streaming platforms like Netflix that's normally only available in other countries. Private internet access now has 91 country servers to pick from and new dedicated IP locations. It also comes with their built-in ad and malware blocker called Mace, which blocks virtually all pop-ups. Private internet access is giving my audience 83% off, comes out to $203 a month, plus 4 extra months for free. Go to piavpn.com/Pacman. The link is down below.